Boom, we are live, baby, live. Welcome to Pub Sports Radio and NCAA Net Profit. It's March 2nd, Max. It is Wednesday, and I like to say it is trash day. And trash is out. Um, last night was a phenomenal night for me. I was like 5-0, and SC and under came to die for me, Max. So, I mean, it was still good, but could have been great. Arizona, what a first half that was. I mean, just lights out. Couldn't come back from it. But tell me, how was your night, man?
Um, my night was okay. I did a lot more work on team totals yesterday. So while I was hesitant to lay my full wager, I only laid half units on them. They were very fruitful, and I am looking to attack them again today. But obviously, the big freaking wart on my forehead is those. Excuse my dirty language, Glenn Middleton, cocksuckers of Youngstown.
Yeah.
Like, how the fuck do you blow that game like that? How do you lose outright? Like, I can understand you not covering the number. That's
Yeah.
perfectly understandable in conference basketball, but to not win the fucking game? I was absolutely embarrassed for them. It took every ounce of my energy not to be belligerently rude to Twitter, to anybody that like made a positive comment about the team's effort. Yeah, it was very difficult because the other three legs on the teaser, Connor, were cash money.
Yeah. I know. But let's rock to today. Yeah, there was more. I mean, I took TCU, but I didn't take anything money line, so I felt that was a little
Yeah, I hit TCU when they were up 5 in the
beautiful.
second half. It was the easiest -1.5 that you could get live. And I took
Yeah.
it from Gus.
Yeah, I'm just bummed I didn't take the money line because mostly I do most of the time. So yeah, Wisconsin, I did have a little bit of money line,
Yeah,
+3.
same
VCU was
here.
good. So
And
excellent,
Wisconsin team
excellent.
total over 69.5. That was
Ooh,
cha-ching.
nice. All right,
Cha-ching.
hit me up. We'll get to the chat in just a minute. Let's get to your line moves real quick. Hit me up. Everything from last night to today. We've already had games go off. That Charleston Southern Asheville game was good.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah, yeah. That definitely was good. Connor hit a fucking live +400 money line play on Charleston Southern. And when Kelly made that shot, I literally almost smacked my forehead off my desk, possibly concussing myself and then having no one to fucking pick up my bloody face afterwards. So glad I didn't do
Wait,
that.
no
Very
hat on?
close. I had no hat on,
Well, that's
and
the
I
bill would have
almost
saved you. Yeah.
yeah, absolutely. When I'm not on camera, Connor, I'm not wearing a hat.
Yeah.
I
Okay.
don't give a crap what my hair looks like.
Me too. I mean, yeah. True. 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 All right, hit me up with the line moves, brother.
All right, so we have some line moves in the Big South Conference tournament, which is at Bojangles in Charlotte, with High Point, who just beat Hampton by 11 last game. We have seen the line go up to as high as 139.5 or 137.5. In the Presbyterian Campbell game, we've seen that line go from 122 to 125. So very surprising move with the Blue Hose, who did make a very, very crazy run to beat Campbell late the last time that they played. They're now a 5-point dog when they opened up as 3.5 points. So very skeptical line movement there. Could be a fade type situation. When I do talk about the conference that I am a part-time governor of, obviously between the Patriot League and the Northeast Conference, they keep me busy. And I got to interview all the ladies of the night that want to potentially leave the sex work trade and become university students. So Central Connecticut State and Bryant, Connor, that's a real interesting spot because we've seen Central Connecticut State D up on Bryant in their most recent trip to Smithfield, Rhode Island. However, are we expecting that again today? The total's gone from 147 to as high as 148.5. So not a lot of faith there, in my opinion. We have seen Sacred Heart and Long Island's total go from 153.5 to as high as 156. And we have seen Mount St. Mary versus St. Francis go from 125 to as high as 127, and the spread going from a 5.5 point Mount St. Mary favorite to now a 7-point Mount St. Mary favorite. Just on the extra board, the only thing I want to note is we have seen a 2-point line move in the Houston Baptist New Orleans game. So 152 is the highest that you can get there if you're looking to take an under. Going through the main board, Connor, I have to stop and talk about a line that actually is crazy that it's moved this much, and that's Charlotte and Middle Tennessee State. Seeing that total go from 144.5 to 139 when Charlotte plays a lot of the same tempo of their opponent is surprising. We have seen some slight line movement towards the under in the George Mason Davidson game from 137 to as low as 135. We also have seen a little bit of a line movement in the George Washington game. They opened up as a 5.5 point favorite, got as high as 8, and now is back down to 7. When I do look at a favorite that's turned into an underdog, LaSalle is the one. They definitely ransacked St. Joe's, kept them down, and now further efforts, they've gone from a 1-point favorite to a 1.5 point underdog at most books. I do take note of the fact that Texas A&M and Alabama, who did play a low-scoring game first time out, well, that has been reflected in the line move. 154 opener down to 150.5. It is a Josh Applebaum system rule, and the under could be the right play. When I do look at a couple games later down the board, I do have to stop and take note of UT Rio Grande Valley, who definitely is head and shoulders better than Lamar. The question is their depth going to be tested in that game? And is that 1.5 a trap? So very sketchy number there. My UConn Huskies are becoming a smaller and smaller favorite as the day goes on. Opened up as 5, now as low as 3.5, and that is fine by me. Minnesota and Maryland, we've seen that total go from 138 to 135.5, and I can understand that, but it may be getting a little too low now. Arkansas and LSU, a team that has played a lot of unders in this point range, their game went from 141 to as high as 143.5. And aside from that, Connor, I think that the most important game to take note of is probably going to be the California Baptist Chicago State total. That's gone from 141 to as low as 137.5.
Excellent work. Let's give a shout out to the chat. Colorado Bull, what's up, my man? Great to see you. Bill McHugh, Paulie Walnuts, Ron Lofton, TCATL, James Little, Jay Peasy, Jordan Windsor, Rodney Barton, what's up, my guy? Preston Burke, good to see you. T-Mac, Cav, Kyle, Nasty Nate, Black Thor King, Real Deal Prime, the Grinder up in here. Colton, what's going on, my man? Rude Jude up in here. What's going on, man? J-Ro from, what's going down? Ron Lofton, shout out to you. All right, Max, let's get right into it. We got a shitload of games here. Let's just go right. We're going to hit the extra board, then we'll get to the main board. Let's get to these Ohio Valley here. This SIU Edwardsville versus Tennessee State, Max. This is at the Ford Center in Evansville, Indiana. Tennessee State's laying 4, total 134.5, 135. What do you like here?
Yeah, listen, I think that's there's a very easy case to make that Tennessee State probably has the advantage personnel-wise when you look at the experience and versatility of a guy like Carlos Marshall and Kenny Cooper, a well-traveled point guard, Jalen Tubree, who came over from Sanford, and obviously Shaquem Johnson, who is capable of going off for a big game. I do think that this is a Tennessee State team that obviously has to get off to a good start. That's been one of their keys, locking down defensively, having that 3 or 4 point lead going into the half. And I do think that if they're able to do that, they're one of the rare teams that I've found throughout the season that have been pretty good to me at going to wire as a short favorite in this point range. And I'm willing to back Tennessee State in this situation.
Yeah, I'm going to stay off of that one. Let's keep rolling. This one I'm more interested a little bit, the under here, Max. Tennessee Tech Austin Peay. Tech's 2-point favorites. This total is 137.5, basically across the board everywhere. I like the under a little bit. I don't know if I'm gonna play it here, but I've been looking at it all day. What do you like on this one?
Yeah, this is a tough under because Austin Peay has to be able to control tempo in this game. Last time that they played, Tennessee Tech was really able to take advantage of what I would say would be some slow-footed guards. And while a lot of them are very good spot-on three-point shooters, we're talking about a roster and a rotation that's littered with guys that shoot between 33 and 37% from the three-point line. I just don't know. I think that it is a game where if they're going to have their way and they're going to win this game, Tariq Silver and freaking Elijah Hutchins Everett are going to be able to control the tempo with their isolation play, whether it be on the low block or the perimeter. I would have to be leaning towards Austin Peay in this spot. And I think that with that recent experience versus this Tennessee Tech team, all they got to do is be able to slow down Junior Clay and Keyshawn Davidson. If they're able to do that, I think that they can stay under for you.
Yeah, I'm looking to it. There's another one I like. Let's get to it next here on under a little bit. It's moved up at some spots. Hampton, High Point. This is at the Bojangles Coliseum, Max, in Charlotte, North Carolina. We obviously just talked about the few games that were earlier, the Radford, the earlier games. I'm not on the side here. I lean Hampton a little bit on a neutral floor. I like the under. What do you like in this one, Hampton, High Point?
Yeah, no, I like the over. I like Hampton to score points in this game. They've shown me that they've turned the corner. They've gotten healthy. They have a dominant big man that they can throw out there in the right matchup. And they also have the motivation of putting up 77 versus these guys just recently. I know that it's a nice situation to come back on the under. While we don't need 155 points or 160 something points, we need freaking a much lower number that I think that I don't know how to say it without like being an asshole about it. I just think that Hampton has turned the corner.
Well, there's no asshole here. Play. You like the over. What the fuck? I mean, I know. Yeah, I'd lean the points in the under in that one. Let's just leave it at that. I like it. Presbyterian, Campbell. Campbell's laying 5. I disagree here a little bit. I really like Campbell, Max, but these neutral floors, I think this might be too many points. I think the game's too close. Obviously, it's low scoring. This opened 122, moved to 125. I don't think it's going to be maybe to the 60s, and that's where I think it's going to be played. So if I had to, I'd take the 5 points with Presbyterian. What do you like here?
I think that run that we saw against Campbell that they used to win that game in their most recent one, I think it just leaves a really dirty taste in a team's mouth. We saw another situation that was very similar to that with Norfolk and NCCU. And we saw how Norfolk really focused on going wire to wire and right up into them. So I do think that this Campbell team, if you look at this group's history throughout the Big South tournament history in the last 3-4 years, they have trouble sometimes in the first round. They are susceptible to that upset in some years. It's really just about getting through this game. I think they can win it, but at 5, it's just a little too much in a conference that has countless single-digit underdogs cashing, and already 2 dogs today.
Yeah, exactly. All right, let's keep rolling here. Let's get through the rest of these. Let's get to it. Central Connecticut, Max. Bryant's obviously laying 17, massive number here. Total's 147. You looking to lay it, take team total? What do you like here in this Central Connecticut, Bryant?
I'm looking to take team totals. I do think that Central Connecticut State continues to have trouble scoring the basketball. They're going to do their best to keep this game low scoring. I do not think it's going to work. I do think that we're going to see a Bryant team that has a better game plan, a fuller roster, and a very focused, angry Peter Kiss. This is a guy that got pretty much snubbed compared to Alex Morales when it comes to Player of the Year. And I think that he's going to show the coaches of the NEC what he's he's all about. He is a chirping, driving, mid-range scoring fucking machine, and I want to see Peter Kiss fuck with his eyes open. I think that it's Bryant. I think that it's Bryant team total, and I think that Central Connecticut State team total is the one part of the under that I really like. So,
all right, let's keep rolling. St. Francis, PA, Wagner. Wagner's laying 11, basically everywhere. There's a few 11.5s. This total's 138, 137.5. Does Wagner roll here? What do you like?
I think that Wagner wins. I'm not sure about rolling just because St. Francis is another team that could have that chip on the shoulder. The biggest issue for them this season is being healthy, not having Raheem Dixon Conover, not having freaking Miles Thompson, not having freaking Maxwell Land. Like, you can name a guy on the roster and they've been out for a period of time. I think that when we look at this Wagner team, the biggest question mark is, can Zaire Williams, can Jabril Price Noel give you some three-point shooting? We know that this team is going to crash the boards and they're going to score in that fashion, but I need to see them be able to score and rebound efficiently against St. Francis front court, because we've seen over the last 5 games that we are playing Josh Cohen and Mark Flagg together, and that's some pretty hefty size inside that you got to beat on the glass. Right now, I have no faith in the St. Francis guards aside from Maxwell Land. And I just see this game being mucked up, really ugly, and St. Francis freaking barely covering and staying within the number.
Yeah, I think it's an ugly game as well. Let's keep rolling. Sacred Heart, Long Island here, Max. Long Island's 8.5 point favorites. This total's moved up from 153 to 155.5, even touched 156. What do you like here? Long Island, Sacred Heart.
Yeah, I think that with Sacred Heart, the question is going to be, what kind of effort do we get out of them? They are definitely a team that's built to make that freaking sweetheart Cinderella type run within the conference. We're talking about a team that has 2 very dominant guards, one that can score from the 3, one that can break you down inside. And then when you talk about Nico Gillette, who should have been the most improved player in this conference, talk about a guy that could have a chip on his shoulder tonight and come out and have a big performance. This is a league where the players talk a lot of shit, the coaches talk a lot of shit, and there's a lot of freaking chest bumping. So I just think in this situation, Sacred Heart is the question mark when it comes to the over. But at 156.5, you're going to need a 75 point performance just to get over this number. And I'm just not sure Sacred Heart's able to do that.
Yeah, but defensively, they can help you out with their Ole defense. But yeah, can they score enough? We'll see. Let's keep rolling here. St. Francis, New York versus Mount St. Mary's. Mount St. Mary's 7-point favorite here. Max open at 5.5, basically across the board. This total is 126.5, a few 127s. I'm off this as well. I'd lean under to this game a little bit, but what do you like here?
Yeah, it's all about fucking Mount St. Mary's scoring defense. We've seen how good this team can be at times, but they're missing one of their key pieces defensively and on the glass in Malik Jefferson. While they do have other guys that can step in, they're going to have to be offensively focused on scoring the basketball and playing a little outside of themselves. You have a ton of really good slashers like Mezzi Offram, DeAndre Thomas, and of course you have Jalen Benjamin. I think that the X factor, though, is a guy that can come off the bench and really give you a spark, and that's Jalen Gibson. I think that if Mount St. Mary tries to play a little faster tonight, tries to get into that 65-point plateau, I think that that's what's going to best serve them as far as winning this game and covering the spread. As far as the total, with their scoring defense, it wouldn't surprise me to see a 65-51 type game, and Mount would be able to cover that.
Okay, excellent. Let's keep rolling. Let's hit these 2 games up, Max, real quick. We've already got some people in the chat ask about it. Houston Baptist, New Orleans. New Orleans is laying 8.5. This totals 151.5, basically everywhere. New Orleans has been really good. Do they cover this 8.5 though tonight?
Listen, it's a pretty big number, but at home, I think that this New Orleans team has to get right back into the scheme of things. We're talking about a team that's already lost 2 games in a row, and that's just not
Yeah.
something that they do. They're a team that usually you can count on for a situational rebound. However, against Houston Baptist and Darius Lee in particular, they're going to need to be able to bring it from the get-go and not have to make a furious comeback in the second half. They've already beaten this team by 11 in a defensive HBU style of game. I would have to think that this is a game that is more New Orleans tempo style. And if New Orleans can get into the 80-point plateau plus, they're probably covering the spread and they're definitely hitting their team total.
Yeah, that might be a better look. Yeah, they just kind of cruised a lot through conference and, had a few bad games there, Max. I think they bounced back. Let's keep rolling. Nicholls State, Texas A&M, Corpus Christi. Nicholls is laying 2.5. There's a few twos. This total's 148.5. What do you like here?
Yeah, I think that it's a dangerous situation to be looking at this game. I think that with Nicholls losing at this number in a road game situation versus a team that can really push the tempo is a dangerous play. But I think that with Southeast Louisiana, the difference makers that they have on their side are a lot more skilled than what Texas A&M Corpus Christi does. Don't get me wrong. Corpus Christi turned their freaking conference season around a couple games ago. They were on a 4 or 5 game losing streak. And with them, they have a bunch of shooters. It's important for them to get their 3-point shot going. If they can't get that going tonight, they're in big trouble. They're a team that has to play well in the first half and not need a comeback. However, I think Nicholls' first half on the money line is the play to make in this game.
Okay. I like it. Let's get to the main board and get rolling here. Xavier, Max, at St. John's. 2 teams reeling right now with some shitty losses. I hear Johnson might play tonight for Xavier. St. John's is laying 2. They desperately need both teams desperately need a win, Max. This total is 154.5. What do you like here, St. John Xavier?
Yeah, by my numbers, I think that if St. John's can bring just a little sliver of their defense, they could keep this Xavier team under wraps. I think that the better value with them is definitely looking at that first half team total. We see them get off to good starts in home games, whether they're locking down defensively or not. When you talk about that 1-2 tandem of Posh and freaking Champagne, it still does provide a solid foundation for any home team in this number range. So if those boys get going, I think team totals are the way to play in this game with Xavier team total under.
Okay, let's keep rolling. These teams just played, Max, and Fordham had the win. Now Fordham goes to UMass. UMass 4.5-point favorites. I don't want this one. This total is 142.5. What do you like here?
Yeah, it's a 4-point increase from the last game. And if you watch a lot of Fordham basketball, like I do, I'm a big fan of Kyle Neptune, his coaching style. I just think that Fordham, they never played the type of games that they played against UMass. And now they got to play them again on a quick turnaround.
On the road?
Yeah, it's not an enviable task for me. I think that I would have to lean towards UMass in a revenge situation. But I more think that UMass has to be able to lock down this group. And if they can lock them down, that first half team total is a definite 32.5 look ahead spot for me.
Yeah, everyone's on Fordham because they keep winning and covering. So they're just going back to the well. Yeah, I'm gonna stay off. They played really better at home than on the road. Just a stay off for me. Yeah, completely. Old Dominion La Tech, Max. It's 8.5 basically everywhere. There's a few 8s. This total is 139. I had nothing on this one. What do you like here?
Yeah, no, I'm a big La Tech first half guy. I love their first half defense. I do think that they can keep a lot of opponents under 30. And the most important thing to know about Old Dominion this year is while the numbers definitely have improved efficiency and just by statistical category perspective, they are not the same scoring team on the road. For them to score 64, 65 points on the road, that's an accomplishment, but they have definitely been outdoing themselves on their home court. So I just think that's something to be aware of. And it could be Old Dominion barely getting to 30 in the first half tonight.
Yeah, they struggled to score at times, does Old Dominion. Let's keep going here. Western Kentucky is laying 2 at Marshall, Max. Kind of an ugly one here. Huge total. Should be points, but I don't know if it gets over 154.5. What do you like here?
Yeah, I think that Western Kentucky's defense is going to be front and foremost in this game. They got to bring it in this spot. I think that if they can keep Marshall under 35, 36 points in the first half, they're going to be in a good situation at halftime. If Marshall is getting to the bucket and not being forced to shoot threes where they are not comfortable or efficient doing so, then I do think that this is going to be a little bit of a freaking hair puller.
Hair puller. All right, I like it. This one's a good one, Max. Middle Tennessee State, where they just keep winning, covering. Basically 2 everywhere. Now, you might be able to find a 1.5 at Charlotte. You talked about the crash on this total, down to 139, 139.5. What do you like here?
Yeah, I still like my original freaking cap. I've watched this Charlotte team over and over again play to their opponent's strength. And when I see that team total at 32.5 in the first half, it is worth a shot with Middle Tennessee State. You know, I think that they're the better team. They have built up a huge bankroll for you if you've been betting on them since November. And if you're just getting into them right now, they're a great fucking group. I love Josh Jefferson. I love his individual play on a regular basis, which is very consistent. Thank God that guy got out of freaking Green Bay. Well, that's what I'll say. So listen, Jameer Young is great, Conor, but this Middle Tennessee State team is freaking built to win right now.
Yeah. I mean, these are the big ones to go on the road here and win, not only win, but cover. That's what the great teams do. And they've been unreal against the number all year long. That's for sure. Let's get to this one. That's pretty good. You mentioned it's come down just a little bit. George Mason, Davidson, Max. Davidson's laying 7. This one's tough. If Davidson hits their shots and everything, I think this can get over. It's a tough one here. I've been looking through this all day long. George Mason can score more. Obviously, Odora, when he's on the floor, he's probably the best big man in the A10, one of the best, especially scoring-wise. What do you think here, George Mason, Davidson?
Yeah, I like that. I like that first half over for George Mason because of Josh Odoro, because of Devontae Gaines, because of Deshaun Schwartz. These guys know how to score. They're going to know how to be physical with this Davidson team. And the biggest question mark for Davidson that we have to answer, and which is not answered at this point, is what's this deal with Foster Loyer? Is Foster Loyer playing? And it's senior night. So I'm not sure Davidson's really trustworthy first half, but we have seen them perform some pretty nice operations in the second half and cover numbers that we thought that they had no chance of covering. So I would probably be into Davidson full game against George Mason, but I think George Mason has to show me early on that they can score on this team, and that means scoring 30 or more points in the first half.
Yeah, this might be a live bet here. The dangerous part is just, and it's happened like you talked about, Max, is in second halves. If this team gets hot from 3, they can blow you out. That's just the whole thing. I mean, they got guys that can shoot it from all over the place. So that's the only difficult thing. I mean, I want to take these points with George Mason a little bit. Numbers right there. The deadly 7, as we always talk about. I'm just probably going to lay off tonight. Let's get to this good one. Rutgers, Indiana. Indiana's laying 4.5. Total 132. Wow, Max, what do you like here? Does Indiana take care of business? Rutgers played a bit better on the road. The last probably 6 weeks of the year or so. What do you like here, Rutgers, Indiana?
Yeah, no, it's a dangerous spot for me. If I'm rolling with Indiana, I'm probably going to roll with them on the ad spread and expect them to fuck with their eyes open, not fuck with them closed in the back of a freaking Ford pickup. I'll just say this also. Indiana has wonderful talent on this team, yet they just are not able to put it together. And that is just so disappointing. I think that this is an opportunity for them to lock down defensively on this Rutgers team and really throw them through the rinse cycle. I've definitely liked Rutgers in situations on their team totals under 64.5. This is one of those situations. I'm just not sure. I'd rather take them over in the first half and see if they can actually score against this Indiana perimeter defense before. So I like Rutgers team total over in the first half, but on the spread, I definitely like Indiana at an additional spread.
Going with the additional number. Okay. Let's get to this one quickly. Georgetown, Seton Hall. Seton Hall 13-point favorites. This total is 145. Seton Hall is unbelievably great defensive team, Max, but anything with Georgetown in the mid 140s, I think you got to take over because Seton Hall, it's just, I don't know. What do you like here in this one?
I think that I'd rather watch a cookie collect dust.
I don't blame you. Yeah. I'd still think the full game could get over. It's just a lean for me. Let's keep going here. Oklahoma State, Iowa State, Max. Iowa State's laying 4 now everywhere. This total's moved up to 131. I disagree with it a little here. I like the under. I think Iowa State can win this game as well. What do you like here?
Listen, they really put on a little offensive spectacle last time they got together. Yeah. I feel like with that familiarity against each other's defense and confidence that they can take into it, it is a bit of a dangerous number. I would personally lean towards the over, and it's more because I like Oklahoma State to get off to a good start. I don't think that I mean a good start spread-wise. I just mean point output-wise. And when I saw that 28.5 this morning, I jumped on it. It's moved up to 29.5. I still like them to score 31 points. So not the 2.5 points of value, but I do like Oklahoma State to let Iowa State know that they're there.
Yeah, we'll see if they show up. Because I think they're either in this one, Max. I think it's kind of a tight game, or they just get their ass doors blown off. Their season's done here. Duquesne, George Washington. George Washington's laying 7 basically everywhere. There's a few 6.5s. This total's 136.5, 137. George Washington's been good, especially at home, but now laying 7, I'm not going to do it. I lean that way. I also like the under a little bit in this game. What do you like, Duquesne, George Washington?
Yeah, I like Duquesne team totals unders. First half full game, 65.5 and 30.5 is what I got.
Yeah, that's a solid spot. I think it stays under as well. Here's a nice game you probably won't love here, Max. St. Joe's LaSalle. St. Joe's is a 1.5 point favorite. This total's 140. There's a few 139s out there. Man, I want nothing to do with this basketball game. Maybe there's points and this gets over. What do you like here?
Yeah, I actually thought that LaSalle did a fantastic job of really bottling up Taylor Funk. And I just think that when you look at this group, they are very top reliant, and I just don't have a lot of faith in the supporting cast. I think that with LaSalle, you do have the best point guard on the floor with Brickus, but they're going to have to play a defensive style of game. I think that both these teams struggle to shoot early on. While I do think that LaSalle's team total in the first half had value on the under, St. Joe's has got to do a lot of proving after losing by 11 and now going into LaSalle's building.
Yeah, you're right. If LaSalle could play up, I think they win here. I just don't love it. I would take them as a small home dog here. All right, let's keep going. This is a good game, Max. St. Louis at Rhode Island. This number's 2.5 everywhere. This total's 136.5, 136. What do you like here? St. Louis, Rhode Island.
I'm really expecting this game to turn into a very wide margin of victory for St. Louis. I really have a lot of doubts about the consistency that you're going to get from Jeremy Shepard, from Ishmael Elamine, from Ishmael Leggett. It just isn't really sitting right for me. While I do like how the Mitchells can run the floor and really contribute in transition, I think that it's just as important for them to get back on defense and be able to do it without fouling, which is a problem. They are perpetual reacher inners, and they love to reach in on guys, and I just can't stand it. I think that when I look at the game, while I think St. Louis can rock out with their cocks out, I think that St. Louis's defense is going to be at front and foremost. I think that that team total with Rhode Island under 66.5 was the thing that had the most appeal to me. And now at 67.5, you're getting a much better number.
I agree with you there. And one thing Rhode Island does at home, they can't play defense. They have trouble scoring. They don't have great shooters. They don't shoot free throws well, but they can play a little defense, especially at home. So yeah, I like that as well. I like the under in the game. Let's keep going here. Texas A&M, Alabama. Alabama's laying 10 here, Max. This total's dropped down a little bit. It's 150, 151, certain spots. I can't lay with Alabama. Not the way they give up points. And that defense, I guess if they're hot shooting, they can cover the number. But if they're not hot shooting, there's no way I want to lay doubles with this basketball team, the way they shoot it and their defense. So I like the 10 points with A&M. What do you like here?
Yeah, Conor, listen, I went recently to the local YMCA to watch some people play basketball, and I said to them, I was like, listen, if Texas A&M can't score 70.5 points versus freaking my Roll Tide Roll, then they should be thrown out of the SEC. They should be freaking fined $5 million, and their football program and their stadium should be shut down. If Texas A&M doesn't score 71 points tonight, I'm literally going to freaking start smashing my head into a wall, and they just better fucking do it. If you can't score 71 points versus Alabama with the amount of shot attempts they're going to give you and the tempo they're going to force you to play at, don't try and play your style. Play their style. God damn it.
I agree. I like it too. I think Alabama just, they average 80 max. They give up 76 a game. That's not something good when you want to lay points. Shout out to Nuke Worker, my guy with the $5 dono. Hell yeah. He said, good days, guys, from Treasure Island, Florida. Just got back from the beach, a little late to the party. We'll have to go back, watch from the beginning. Good luck tonight. Shout out to my guy, Nuke Worker. Just retired, man. Living the life in Florida. Drinking whatever the fuck he wants. Living it up. Shout out to my guy, Nuke Worker with the dono. Thank you, my man. Thank you. All right, Max, let's keep rolling here. This game's pretty ugly to me. Georgia Tech at Clemson. Clemson's laying 8. This total's 138. I like the under here a little bit. What do you like in this one?
Yeah, I like Georgia Tech to score points in this game. I think that first half team total 29.5, regardless of what the score is at halftime, should be something they can get over.
Yeah, let's see if they can do it. They've scored the ball better a little bit lately. I still don't trust them though on the road. Yeah, we'll see. Yeah, the dono train's only $10 or more, Elliot V. Yeah, well, we all want to see the dono train, believe me. Notre Dame, Florida State. Florida State with that crazy shot to beat Virginia. That was just insane that went in. Notre Dame's the better team, though. What do you think here, Max? I'm off this game. This total's 139, 140. I lean under, but what do you like here?
Yeah, I think that while Florida State obviously has size, Caleb Mills is doubtful for this game. I think that Florida State's going to have to really emphasize getting on the offensive glass and being able to score off those extended possessions. I think that when you look at Florida State, one thing that I am worried about them is fouling and their first half defense. We've seen this team over and over again over my recent memory give up close to 40 points in the first half. And against Notre Dame, if you're going to do that, you're going to be down. You're going to be freaking down big. And for the total, it does seem like it's an over spot. This number definitely feels like it's tailored to Notre Dame having a good shooting game against a depleted freaking Florida State roster.
Yeah, those injuries have just been crazy with Florida State. let's keep going here. Oh, shout out to Kyle with the $10 dono. Dude, he's got the dono train.
Dono train.
Shout out to Kyle, $10 dono. Boom, boom, boom. Hell yeah, my guy. Appreciate you. Thank you, my man.
That's called fucking with your eyes open. Appreciate it. Thanks, man.
101.
101.
One.
Conor teaches a course at UNR.
No. Never up there.
They call
UNLV.
They call him Professor Mac. And you charge them double than what you charge UNLV.
Yeah, I would do that. That sounds I like that. UAB, Southern Miss, Max. Come on now. This total's 142.5. Do you have anything here?
No, I don't have anything on this game.
Yeah,
I want to bet on UAB so bad and be so square, but I think that it's just such a difficult spot to judge what Southern Miss motivation is going to be and how effective Tyler Stevenson and Isaiah Moore will be inside and in the mid-range.
Man, it's ugly. Here you talked about it. Rio Grande Valley, Lamar, Max, earlier. They're laying 1.5, but I'd be leery. I think they win this game and beat Lamar, but I'm not rushing to the window to back it. What do you like here?
Yeah, it doesn't make sense that the number is where it's at right now. I do think that when you look at how these guys matched up last time, I'd really throw that out the window because you really never know who's actually playing for this team. I think that the one thing that's really playing in favor of Rio Grande Valley this time out is the fact that they're going to have maybe 8 or 9 guys that they can go to. So there won't be any issues of getting a freaking student manager or a freaking walk-on, a jersey on a timeout to get him in the game. So you have 5 players. And not to mention that walk-on did fuck up the game and cause them to lose. So, yeah. Sometimes it's better just to play with 4 so you don't have a guy that just gets in the way. Sorry, that was my mini rant, Conor. But no. I think that with Rio Grande Valley, if they shoot the basketball well, Mike Adewami, Justin Johnson, and Ricky Nelson can do enough to get them the win, and obviously this 1.5 point cover.
Oof, we will see. Let's get to this one. You probably want to say something about it. UConn at Creighton. It's 4 across the board, Max. This total's 135.5. Tell me what you like here.
Yeah, I think it's pretty obvious. I'm on UConn. I think that when I saw that 3.5, I was like, cha-ching, cha-ching, cha-ching. I think that Creighton's going to have trouble scoring. While they definitely looked a little better at times in the first game without Nembhard, I do think that they come back down to earth because when you have good point guard play on the other side, throwing Alex O'Connell on RJ Cole, I don't think it's going to be successful for the Blue Jays. Obviously, if Sharif Mitchell's able to go, they do have a reliable point guard that has started games for them. I just think that this is a time that UConn smells blood. Danny Hurley is pissing people off, and I just think that we come to fuck with our eyes open. You know, he's a real dick. You know, probably because he's wearing glasses, and he knows my friend Glenn, so he's disappointed.
And his last name's Hurley.
Yeah,
pissing people off.
You want to hurl? Hurley.
UConn's been winning lately. RJ Cole's been really good. They're pretty healthy, Max. You mentioned they haven't covered it at all lately, and you know there are struggles at the free throw line late in games. If this is close, but you mentioned this is what's kept me off was just Nembhard when you have a ball, and I don't think Mitchell plays either. I mean, I'm just saying that right now, but that's not for sure. But I don't think he's a go either.
I feel
so
like he's out for the year also. So
yeah, he's not playing. So they do have size. This game was a horrible shooting the first time, but Creighton lately's played to like these crazy overs and no defense. And UConn can play some high scoring games at times. This total's got me confused as well. You know, I don't under over. I could see either game, depending on the shooting. So, man, interesting spots there.
Yeah.
All right, let's keep going.
I hope that we go in and we freaking give them the proverbial fist right inside of them. Yeah.
The old fist
Yeah. I hope
inside
that
of
we
him.
bludgeon them. we bludgeon them from
Oh
the
my god.
inside. Internal
Uh,
bleeding for you Blue Jays. I'm hungry. I'm gonna build a hat out of your feathers.
okay.
Sorry.
Minnesota, Maryland. Maryland's -7. This total is 135.5. Pass here. I lean the under. What do you like? But the number's gone here.
Yeah, I think that with Minnesota, they have definite some first half money line value as a road dog in an unexpected situation. Maryland loves to fumble the ball more than a goddamn football team. And I just think that with Minnesota, if they can get to that 30-point plateau, they have a good chance of going into the half with a lead.
Okay, let's get to this big game, Max. I'm sure people can't wait to talk about LSU, Arkansas. Arkansas is laying 5.5 at home. Total's moved up a little bit to 143, basically everywhere. Break it down, LSU, Arkansas.
Yeah, listen, LSU hasn't been our friend when it comes to betting them ATS, but at this number, they've just been a brilliant under team, whether it be at home or on the road. I think that having Xavier Pinson back for the last couple of games really does play in their favor, because now they can really full court press and not have a liability in that freaking center court area where it will get broken and then it turns into a freaking breakaway layup. I just think at the end of the day, LSU's got a lot of proving to do when it comes to walking into Bud Walton Arena and giving this Arkansas Razorback a game. I think Arkansas wins the game. I think they're parlay freaking piece number one. I could literally freaking pair them up with every edge that I have on the board today. That's how much I like Arkansas to win the game. But
yeah, I think they win the game too.
Yeah, the number just doesn't really provide a lot of value. It can go either way.
Yeah, perfect way to say it. Not a shitload of value. Just yeah.
But it is a game that you get hyped for, because like that place is going to be rocking out. Like there's going to be no condoms in the freaking place. There's going to be babies getting created everywhere. It's going to be a fucking buck wild Budweiser, Bud Light, and vodka Red Bull party.
Sign me up. Marquette, DePaul. Marquette's laying 2. This total is 150.5. I don't want anything here. DePaul plays their best basketball at home, Max, but I don't trust them much. I wish they were catching more points here. What do you like, Marquette, DePaul?
Yeah, I think that that's the reason why they're this short of a underdog, because they can really just win this game. I don't think that Marquette can deal with the physicality that they're going to have to bring. They're going to have to bring double teams on Javon Freeman-Liberty or David Jones, and then that leaves David Jones or Javon Freeman-Liberty open. So if you see the normalcy that is brilliant passing for both these guys, then yeah, it's going to be a tough ass to lock them both up, especially at home. Reverse locations, and definitely the number reflects it, but I think Marquette's the better play when they're a dog rather than a short favorite.
Yeah, dangerous little spot for Marquette here tonight. Wichita State, Tulsa. This is not an easy spot for Wichita State. They're laying 3 here at Tulsa. This total is 135.5. The only play I'd play here is the dog in Tulsa at home, Max, and I'd only look under. I'm not going to play this under. I don't think there's a ton of value at 135, but what do you like here?
I think that the biggest test for me is how Wichita is going to come out offensively in the first half. We know that Sam Griffin is the guy that you really got to lock down, but we also know from watching a lot of Wichita games that when ATN is catching shooting threes, you're not going to stop him. It's just such a quick catch and release. It is beautiful. But when he is going and really searching for that 3-point shot and dribbling all around, that's when you can really take him out of rhythm. If he catch and shoots a couple early, it's going to be tough to stop him in this regional rivalry game. However, I think that when you look at the number, yeah, Conor, you're right. The value is with Tulsa. And I just think that the better play is to ride Wichita State's team total under 32.5 in the first half and anticipate inefficient, low-scoring defensive game.
Yeah, I am. I might make a play on this game with Tulsa. I haven't decided yet. Let's keep going here. Auburn, 4-point favorites, Max, basically everywhere at Mississippi State. This total's 142. Auburn kind of scuffling here, coming down the stretch. I want no part of them laying points here on the road. What do you like here?
Yeah, no thanks. Not interested.
Okay.
I'm
Me too.
actually gonna be busy washing my hair.
Wow. What the fuck? He's washing his hair in this one later tonight. Stephen F. Austin, New Mexico State. He's laying 6.5. This total 140. Interesting game in this one. Can Stephen F. Austin come on the road and hang tough with New Mexico State? What do you like?
Well, if New Mexico State's last game's any indication, then yes, they can. They can come in and they can win it by 10. Losing to Chicago State like that, my God, Aggies. What kind of fucking like coyote blood were you getting? You weren't
They
getting
were playing well before then, too, Max. They were, I mean, yeah.
Brilliantly. Oh, God, it was embarrassing to watch that game, Connor. I was literally saying some stuff that I just can't say about animals on this channel. And I'll tell you, if New Mexico State still has that coyote blood in them, they're going to be in big trouble tonight. Otherwise, I feel real bad for Stephen F. Austin because they're going to get planted out like a fucking pancake, okay? And I pound those things out. I look for Teddy Allen to have a big game. Teddy Allen time, Teddy Allen time, Teddy Allen time. Saying it 3 times, Connor, makes it happen.
Boom. Maybe it will. Miami at Boston College, Max. This total's 139.5 everywhere. Miami's 4-point favorites. They've been so good on the road and good off a loss, throughout all year long. It might not be easy to get done, but I could only take Miami. It might be a little trappy, but that's my only look in this game. Sorry, and I like the under. I am on the under here. I'll die with it. There's one thing, Boston College seems to just score 60 points here at home, Max, and give up like 71 or, do you know what I mean? So I could only look at the under. What do you like here?
Yeah, Boston College team total under 68.5. That's a play that I'm on. I do think that Boston College, if they're going to throw their best punch, it's going to be in the first half versus Miami. However, by my numbers, Miami could be a 4-point favorite in the first half, and I would still like it. The second half is the problem for Miami. I do think that we have seen some signs of faltering after building up a lead. And if they do versus Boston College, it is a dangerous freaking avenue to take. Brevin Galloway, what he adds to this team is a true alpha scorer. And when Boston College has one of those, the NBA has a couple of them right now, Boston College can present some problems. I think that it's a game that you take half by half when it comes to the spread, but Boston College team total under 68.5 is just a number that screams, yes, please bet me.
Yeah, it's been a trouble for them to get to 70 all year long, especially at home, Max. When they've gone on the road, they've gone over some games. When they're at home, it's just they play slower, throw the ball around. I mean, the offense can look ugly. Yeah. NC State, Wake Forest, Max. It's NC State teams, I think, throwing it in. I like Wake Forest here. I was looking at Wake Forest first half as a bet in this one. They played well in first half, so they do got to, have a lead by 6 at halftime. But I like it. Total 151. What do you like here?
Yeah, I'm on Wake Forest first half full game
and
their full game team total over.
Excellent. I like it as well. Just the injuries. NC State's just kind of thrown it in. I think Wake, yeah. What's their team total? Yeah,
79.5.
Yeah, I still think they get 80. Okay. Chicago State, Cal Baptist. This is the Chicago State team. Cal Baptist, 14-point favorites, Max. Totals 138. What are you taking here?
Yeah, listen, I think that Chicago State definitely is an interesting team when it comes to their full game team total. It's always a fucking roller coaster ride of emotions. So if you're a faint of heart, you probably shouldn't tell me on that. But I'll be on Chicago State team total over 62.5. I think that the start that they get off to is really going to be key. Can they build off a fucking monumental program win for a very improved Chicago State team? And that's very nice words coming out of my mouth about them. Maybe I'll have to check if I have a fever later. But yeah, I like Chicago State to score points again versus California Baptist. While I love California Baptist perimeter defense, Connor, I do think that Daniel Atkin has to really play an offensive role and defensive role and not be a fouling machine, because this Chicago State team, they will miss shots inside, but they are not going to get back into transition defensively. They're going to go after those boards. Whether they get them or not, it can lead to some pretty dumb fouls, and we've seen that be a problem for some of the guys in California Baptist front court. At the end of the day, though, I think California Baptist wins the game. I'm just not sure that I'm really jumping to the window to bet them as a 13-point favorite versus Chicago State.
Yeah, that's a lot there in that one. Last game, Max, Wyoming at UNLV. UNLV is a 1.5-point favorite. Some spots even 2. This total's 139. What's up with the Cowboys? And how about the running Rebels? Talk to me. What do you like in this game?
Yeah, listen, it's a game that I'm probably going to just stay off of. I think it's a live betting situation. This game reeks of tale of two halves. I just don't know who's going to have the tale of two halves first.
It does for me too here, Max. If UNLV keeps playing the way they do, but I've seen this over the years, the team comes in here and we'll just beat them, at home. So it's, damn it. I got to stay off for now. I can't do it. Even though UNLV's playing some really good basketball here, Wyoming's got to be pissed after that game with San Diego State. Just a tough one there. All right, Max. Great work. Shout out to the chat. Elliot V, G Martinez, Paulie Walnuts, Kyle. Hit the thumb. Give us a like. Whoa. 75. That's it? Come on. I asked for one thing. Hit the goddamn like button. Give me that before we got to get out of here. Hit the like button for me. Josh, what's up? Nikki Fish Tanks, Bill McDonald, Black Thor King, everyone. James Little, what's going on? PG, everybody. T-Mac, Ben. Shout out to everybody. Give us the likes. That's all we ask for. First, we'll be right back with some bets. But first, let's get a word from our sponsors. Boom. If you're in the San Antonio area, go to Southtown 101, best bar in town. Just go there. Have a great time. You know the deal. Go to manscaped.com, 20% off promo code PubSports. Get it, got it, good. And go to mybookie.ag at promo code PubSports. Use the Bitcoin. Put 1,000, they'll give you 1,000. And last, go to pubsportsradio.com. Get our pub rub. Rub it on your chicken, your pork, your ribs. Get your meat seasoned with our pub rub. Pubsportsradio.com. While you're there, cop some of our merch. Pubsportsradio.com. All right, Max. I'm having a tough time. I've already put a few bets in today. Finding stuff. Give them what you're on tonight. Give a last word to the chat. I'll give mine. We'll get out of here.
Yeah, listen, obviously, with all this team totals staring me in the face, being like, Max, give them all of me. Give them all of me. I can't fucking do that. I have to look towards two teams that I really feel can play to the tempo that I am requesting. And one is Middle Tennessee State. I think that this is a group that has done a fantastic job of being able to win us games, cover numbers at 2. It's worth making a play on. I'm going to use that as my first best bet. And then I'm going to go to the game with George Washington and Duquesne. Not your favorite game to watch, probably one of Connor's favorite to watch, but I don't think Duquesne is going to see 65 points in this game. I like their full game team total under. So Duquesne team total under, Middle Tennessee on the short, sketchy number, like a crackhead in an alley who's trying to sell you a gift card.
Excellent work. Yeah, no other game I'd rather watch than Duquesne, George Washington tonight. There's some worse ones, so yeah, maybe you're not wrong.
No, you love George Washington. You're a George Washington better. That's why you're watching that game.
Yeah, I'm not taking them tonight though, but they've been good to me this year. I think it might be like 4-1 with them or something like that, 5-1. Not gonna lay 7 with them here. A little too much. A little too much love for G-Dub.
Maybe you should just bet on UConn. Maybe it will actually put a good bit of aura on them, you know?
No.
Okay, fine.
I can't.
Fine.
Take a money line. I can't lay those points. You know what scares me? The free throws. Like at the end of the game or like the turnover, and I'm like, oh man, that's the only thing that scares me about laying it.
I'm literally standing up, jumping up and down, screaming at the top of my lungs, like, it is ridiculous. I'm like, I will strangle you, Hurley. I will strangle you. Teach these fuckers how to goddamn keep the basketball. You're not handing it over to your opponent.
Yeah.
Okay. Settle down, Max.
Man, I already have a few bets in here. I'm going to add one. I'm going to put another one out on Twitter here. I'm looking at Tulsa and a few others, but I'm with you, Max, on this first half. I think the full game's good too, but hopefully they bury them early. Wake Forest, first half, -5.5 is my best bet on this show. I'm on other bets like I told you, the under in the Miami game, the under in the Rhode Island St. Louis game, and I'm taking 10.5 with A&M, and I laid it with Iowa State before. Don't fuck me now, okay? Just win by more than 4, and we're going to be good. Alrighty, shout out to the chat. Did we get to the hundo? No, come on now. Give me 5 more here. Give me 5 more. Thumbs up. You don't want Max. Get him on. I'm going to sick him on you guys. You don't want that.
Listen. I could be asking for things that would literally make you
way crazier. Yeah.
I would literally ask you things that would literally make you vomit. You don't want me asking you for those things. So just give Conor what he wants, the goddamn likes, and then we can get the fuck out of here.
Yep. All right, we're going to get there. All right, we're at 95. You guys are pretty weak today, I have to say. I thought it'd be a lot better on a Wednesday card. I thought we did our job, Max. Come on, chat. You got to bring it. All right, we're out of here. Shout out to the chat. Hit the like button. He's the great Maxwell Smart. I'm Conor McRedder. We be pumping! Peace! Great work. Fuck, can't even get to 100, man.
I love the emotion. I love the
pissing me